Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, despite the setback last night, the Tigers managed to keep one streak alive. Danny Worth had a double in the ball game, and Victor Martinez an opposite field home run. And the Tigers now are the only team in the American League that have at least one extra base hit in every game. It is a warm night for baseball here in the Motor City. Welcome to Comerica Park. Tonight is Game 3 featuring Seattle and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us tonight. Ron Allen will join us in a moment. The Tigers, despite the loss last night, still playing some pretty good baseball in the month of June. They have won 6 of the 9 games that they've played in the month of June. Why have they done so? You've got to point to the offense. Look at these numbers here in the month of June. The Tigers are batting .302 as a team, tops in the American League. They have scored or have hit 13 home runs, second in the league. Extra base hits, slugging percentage, and runs scored also within the top 5 as well. So the Tigers offensively clicking on all cylinders tonight. They will need to do it again here this evening. Michael Pineda will be the opponent, and he is a certainly tough customer to deal with. Right now, as we get you ready for baseball, we send you back to the Call Sam studio. Here's Trevor Thompson. And the Seattle Mariners from Comerica Park. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Here is the starting lineup now for Seattle. It is presented tonight by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ichiro is back in the lineup after getting a day off yesterday. He's in right field, followed by Brendan Ryan and Justin Smoke. Adam Kennedy will clean up tonight for the M's. Miguel Olivo will catch. Carlos Peguero is in left, and their bottom 3 is Carp, Figgins and Hallman. Here is the scouting report on Tigers right-hander Max Scherzer, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, Max has been out of whack. There's no question about that. His last few starts on the mound, he's given up some crooked numbers, so he needs to get back on track. And in order to do that, you have to make adjustments early. If you don't have your good fastball, then go to some of your secondary pitches, but you must fill up the strike zone with lots of strikes. And he is 3-0 against Seattle in his career, and he's pitched very well here at Comerica Park. So that could bode well for Max tonight.
And we'll see how Mr. Scherzer does against the Seattle team that has been offensively challenged this year, as Ichiro stands in and looks at a strike to start this one. 74 our game time temperature tonight. Beautiful evening here in the Motor City. 1 ball and 1 strikeout. Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro Suzuki did not play in last night's game, and he had his 255 consecutive game streak snapped.
Little pop up to the second baseman, and Santiago hauls it in. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. You got Dirks in the outfield along with Jackson and Bosch. Kelly, Peralta, Santiago, Cabrera in the infield, and Alex Avila, and he is behind the plate tonight.
So a good start for Scherzer, keeping Ichiro off the base pass. That'll bring up Brendan Ryan, the number 2 hitter. A couple of hits in the series for Ryan. Scherzer delivering a strike. Up with the right hand goes Mike Everett. Max allowing 5 runs in his last start, but still getting the win at Texas. The Tigers winning 13-7 in that slugfest in Arlington. But prior to that, a couple of starts in which he allowed 7 runs each. So really it's been a streak that he's trying to put behind him now and get back to the way he was pitching in early May. The 1-1. And I guess the key to that, Rod, is to make sure that slider becomes the same slider he had earlier in the year.
No doubt about that. He doesn't have that confidence that he had his first 6 starts, where he won all 6 of his decisions. It's a nice look there. Different look.
Gorgeous look. And that's foul down the right field line.
That's kind of what it looks like when we're in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Seriously.
That's our view from the top of the press box in Pittsburgh, which has to be the highest press box in the league, although they tell us Washington's even higher.
I heard that.
We haven't been there.
No, Max needs to fill up the strike zone with good firm fastballs, and that'll allow him to get to that slider and that changeup.
The 2-2 on a line to the shortstop right at Peralta. 2 gone. That'll bring up Justin Smoak. Well, Smoak is one of the really big home run threats in this lineup. One of the few ones that they have. Smoak this year has hit 11 home runs. And while the batting average is a little bit low, they are certainly expecting this young man to blossom into one of the best players in the American League. Scherzer dips 1 low. 1 ball to no strikes.
Smoak hits big home runs for Seattle. 8 of his 11 home runs have given their team the lead in the game.
1-1. 5 for 15 right here at Comerica Park. 9 RBIs in 4 games. Smoke, you might recall, back in April, lost his father to cancer, and he missed about 6 games. When he returned here in Detroit, his first game back after his father passed away, he homered here at Comerica.
He said that was for his father.
He did indeed. Wave and a miss. 2-2.
Nice change piece there. If you can throw this pitch in a 2-1 count to a dangerous hitter like Smoke, you're going to be around for a while. Looks even better in Foxmo.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball sails away at 95. 3-2 on Justin Smoak. On deck, Adam Kennedy, who is batting in the cleanup slot today for Eric Wedge. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got it with a changeup. First strikeout of the ball game for Max Scherzer. 1-2-3 they go. first inning, including his first strikeout of the game. Here's the Tigers starting lineup tonight, presented by our friends at Big Boy. It's Jackson, Kelly, and Bosch at the top this evening. Cabrera cleaning up, Martinez right behind him. Andy Dirksen left, Johnny Peralta the shortstop, Vila and Santiago rounded out for Detroit tonight. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Michael Pineda. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Pineda has the one thing in this game you can't teach, and that is size. He stands 6 feet 7 inches. He's 260 pounds and's got a power fastball anywhere from 95 to 98 miles an hour with a really good slider. And he's going to the All-Star game this year in Arizona. That's how good he's been.
Well, Pineda is out of the Dominican Republic. He's only 22 years old, and what a bright, bright future this young man has. So does this guy, Austin Jackson. He lines one of the air toward left, hit well, but Peguero runs it down.
Let's take a look at the defense by the Seattle Mariners. It's presented by Tim Hortons. It's Peguero, Hallman, Suzuki in the outfield. You've got Figgins, Ryan, Kennedy, Smoke in the infield, and Olivo had the night off last night, and Michael Pineda, outstanding rookie phenom, is on the mound.
Here comes Don Kelly. And Donnie batting in the 2 slot, playing third base. Has hit safely in his last 4.
Expect the Tigers to be very aggressive tonight against Pineda.
In the air to center field, not deep. And a long run and a slide in center by Hallman. Terrific play.
Not sure what that pitch was at 88 miles an hour. If it's a changeup, expect a few more. That's the one pitch he's still trying to develop. It's at 88 miles an hour, and it's a pretty good pitch. And that's the difference in Kelly popping that ball up and the fact that he was out in front. If he ever masters that pitch, and his game is going to go to a whole nother level.
Well, they've talked about him getting that third pitch, and I think most in their organization feel that he's still too young to start working on a forkball. So they would certainly like to see him develop something else.
Back to what I was saying about the Tigers swinging early and often. The fact that Pineda throws lots of first pitch strikes, and they're usually fastballs.
Unable to hold up on that fastball high and out of the zone. 0-1 on Bosch.
As a matter of fact, coming into action tonight, 69% first pitch strikes for Pineda.
Bouncing ball right side. It finds a hole. Base hit for Brennan Bosch. So he keeps swinging it.
Well, Jim has a lineup tonight that has 6 left-handed bats. Lefty's really not that much better against Pineda than right-handers, but he has a few table setters. Santiago, Kelly, Dirk, some guys that can bunt the baseball, and then you've got some big guys that might be able to find the gaps against Pineda.
Even the splits indicate that righty-lefty, it really hasn't mattered all that much.
He manhandled the Tigers early this year in a start here at Comerica Park. He was dominant. 9 strikeouts.
Cabrera late on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Just about every fastball that Pineda throws will be 95 miles an hour and above. Just about every one.
The last time he made his start here, they said his average fastball was 96. And that was earlier in the year. His average fastball velocity. That'll get away from the catcher Olivo. Advance the runner. Thing rolled all the way down the third baseline. Wild pitch advances Bosch to second. Pineda, when he last pitched here on the 28th of April, struck out 9 Tigers in 6 innings. They got him for 2 runs. That's it. Now the 1-1. That missed high. Now, the one thing the Tigers have not been able to do in this series, even though they won the first game, is get that big hit in the big spot. They are just 1 for 13 with men in scoring position.
Seattle won the game yesterday. They were only 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, but they got the big hit. Two balls, 1 strike on Miguel Cabrera.
Just underway here. Tigers have a runner at second base. Ooh, look out. Up and in on Cabrera, and he nailed him.
Didn't hurt, though. He hit him in that protective device that Cabrera wears on his left elbow. He's got a lot of padding on that.
Certainly came in handy there. Two on for the Tigers. That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Two-out threat going here against Pineda. Martinez homered in the ball game last night, hitting an even .300 for the season.
Yeah, that was his first home run the opposite way, and right-handed.
Fastball is in there. Strike called, a high strike, and you can tell by the look on Victor's face, didn't quite agree with it. Foxtrax says borderline, close enough. Martinez 1 for 7 in the series. And the runner gets back on the pickoff throw by Pineda. Tried to catch Bosch napping. Here's the 0-1. Line to center field, base hit. Bosch coming around third. They send him home. And the throw not in time. Bosch is safe. A two-out RBI single by Martinez. Victor comes through again.
It's one of the big reasons why they signed Victor, to provide some protection when teams kind of pitched around Cabrera. He got himself a little two-seam fastball at the bottom of the strike zone, and Brennan Bosch was going to score, but Cabrera, look at him right there on second base. He knew it was going to be a close play, so what he tried to get Smoke to do, who was a cutoff man, the first baseman, he tried to bait him into cutting that ball off and throwing him out at third base, but Smoke let it go.
33 RBIs now for Martinez. The two-out single by Bosch starts the rally, and Victor knocks him in. Here's Andy Dirks. Snap throw, and he threw it away into left field. Here comes Cabrera to score, and the Tigers lead 2-0. And Oliva wants that one back. Nothing Tigers. It's a wild pitch in the inning. A throwing error by the catcher. All of this after two were retired. Slice to the shortstop on a line and right at Brendan Ryan to end the inning. Tigers get a pair on 2 hits. We go to the second. is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Chrysler. And by Arby's. Stop by today and try the new Shroom and Swiss sandwich. Arby's, it's good mood food. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. To get the most baseball games in HD, call 1-800-DIRECT-TV. And a nice night for baseball here in the Motor City. Max Scherzer has a 2-0 lead to work with now as we go to the second. Adam Kennedy leads it off, then Miguel Olivo and Carlos Peguero. Scherzer got him 1-2-3 in the first. Had missed inside. Tailing action on that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kennedy batting .289. A little bit of power. He's hit 5 home runs. The 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Adam. 3 for 6 career against Scherzer. He's had a little bit of success against Max in his limited at bats against him. Olivo waiting on deck. And a bouncing ball to second base. Santiago with an easy play.
That's exactly what the changeup is designed to do. After throwing a fastball at 92, you get the hitter looking for that pitch, and you come back with a changeup and you get him out in front to roll over something softly in the infield. Disrupting the timing of the hitter and changing speeds.
Here's Miguel Olivo, the catcher for Seattle, batting .241.
He had a rough night a couple nights ago. Did he strike out 4 times?
Verlander rang him up 4 times.
Olivo got a night off last night by his manager, Eric Wedge. As a matter of fact, Eric Wedge has taken the liberty of giving several of his everyday players a day off here the first 3 days of the series. Fagan sacked. Ichiro has sacked. Justin Smoke has sat down a game, and Gutierrez, their star center fielder, not starting tonight either. That's what you have to do to your players, though. You have to give them a breather every now and then.
The trick is finding the matchups that fit your lineup the best in terms of who to give off on a certain night. Jim Leland's really good at that.
Yep.
Because you've got to be able to plan days in advance, sometimes weeks in advance.
Speaking of breathers, you're going to get a little bit of a breather tomorrow afternoon.
I am indeed. There's a fly ball, shallow center. Jackson coming on.
Well, special congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you.
Brett, your son, graduating from high school. I know you and your wife Kathy are extremely proud of him.
We are indeed. We're happy for him, and you will have Mr. Keating in the booth with you tomorrow.
Don't remind me.
He's job shadowing tonight. He's hanging over our shoulders here. It's like you go back to school when you have a job shadower. Here's John. Boys and girls, this is John, our job shadower tonight.
He's trying to figure out how not to do it.
Exactly.
Well, you have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy
well,
it. You know, we won't be as smooth as we usually are, but we'll get through it.
John's a pro. It'll be no problem. Carlos Peguero is the batter.
Now, what'd you buy him for graduation? Did you get him something already that he already knows about it? If not, don't tell me.
No, I can't tell you.
All right.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Talked about Scherzer making adjustments early in this game, and we've already seen a validation of that. He's gone a lot more changeups early to some of these left-handed hitters, and it's been a good changeup early in the game.
How about that last pitch? 97 on the outside black, just a touch low and outside.
Yeah, his numbers and his stuff don't really add up his last 4 games. A couple of starts of 7 earned runs, 5 earned runs.
Especially considering the streak that he was on. I mean, he was as good as anybody in the American League prior to that. And still his numbers overall this year, let's not forget, he is 7-2.
Oh, he's having a good year.
One and two. Got him to chase. 96 on the gun, and down he goes. A pair of 1, 2, 3 innings for Max Scherzer with a couple of strikeouts. as well, and we have hellos to John. See, they should put Rod, Mario, and John, because tomorrow John Keating will be sitting right here.
Yeah.
And I know you're excited about it, Keith.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I got 2 words for you, Mario.
What's that?
Wally Pip. Whatever happened to that nice Mario Mpemba fella?
So what you're saying is I should take the rest of the year off?
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Well, John Keating, of course, is our fabulous pre- and post-game guy. And, of course, follows the Tigers, the Red Wings as well, and he'll be filling in for me tomorrow as Johnny Peralta leads it off here for the Tigers. And
I gave Rod $20 already. If it goes well, I'm buying him a car.
Excellent. Well,
and I accepted that too.
Here's something to think about. The last time you filled in for me, you remember what happened?
I should look up and see what my record is when I'm filling in for you.
Well, let me tell you.
Walk-off home run.
It was 2006. You're right. And the game went extra innings.
Placido Polanco.
Your voice almost gave out.
Yeah. Did we have that call?
Your voice was only a little bit worse than mine that day.
That's right. And I lost mine. 0-2 on Peralta. Little pop-up back a second. And one gone. Let's put you to work. How about a promo?
Yeah, Peter Brady did baseball that day. Hey, this July, baseball's biggest stars will gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event. As Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 8 p.m. Eastern on your local Fox station.
Now, how many All-Stars do you think the Tigers might have represent the old English D in Arizona, John?
Well, Justin will be there. I think Avila will be there.
Valverde?
Maybe. I'd say he's on the edge.
Here is Avila.
Cabrera.
Yeah, that, obviously. Although there's so many first basemen that will be in that equation.
Alex batting .291 with 9 home runs, so certainly you would expect and hope that he will be there in Phoenix. It's been a fabulous year for the young catcher.
Well, he leads all catchers in just about every productive offensive category. Average, power, RBIs, slugging percentage.
Driven to center field on a line. That's a base hit. So Avila keeps hitting.
We talked about the left-handers coming into this game, going up against Pineda. We talked about Bosch, we talked about Martinez, and we also talked about Avila. All 3 are 1-for-1 against Pineda in the game tonight.
And so the Tigers have their 3rd hit of the game, and that'll bring up Ramon Santiago. By the way, Keats, to further make you break out into a cold sweat, the other 2 times that Rod missed games because of graduations, we had the great Ernie Harwell in the booth with us, and that game went 15 innings when Roger Clemens was pitching here. And also, Dan Petrie was filling in one night when Rod actually had a bad back, and that game ended at 2:30 in the morning.
So what are you telling me?
It's going to be a long day for you tomorrow, is what I'm telling you.
We got Felix Hernandez against Rick Porcello. I think this game will barely break 2 hours tomorrow.
Well, I'm hoping you're right. Avila chased back to first base.
Well, we have a 2-hour Wago tomorrow. Then you and I can go out and get us a little bite to eat, maybe a little beverage somewhere.
I like the way you think, but I always have.
Santiago getting the start at second base in this ball game tonight, batting .238. It has not been smooth sailing for Pineda so far tonight. That's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Those foul balls come right back up at you, don't they?
They do. You have to be very, very careful.
I don't ever see them. I'm always under the table.
See, these are things that I need to know about as I slide into your seat there, Mario.
You already know. Foul ball, Rod's not going to be around.
With your cat-like quick reactions, you'll be okay.
The hit and run count here if Jim wants to do something.
Bouncing ball right side. Smoke with a nice play. They'll get 1 at second. Relay. Not in time. 2 outs. Santiago aboard in the fielder's choice.
And the reason I say good hit and run count, it's 1-1. You're not going to get a whole lot against a guy like Pineda, so why not put a runner in motion and try to stay out of the double play, which they did because the ball wasn't hit all that sharply to Justin Smoke, and he had to wait for it to come down.
That'll bring up Austin Jackson, who flied out his first time up. And when we last saw Austin in Texas, of course, his family was there. Austin from Denton, Texas, not too far from Arlington. And John, you had a chance to interview his dad on the pregame show.
What a classy guy Albert Jackson is. And Alice, his mom, who I spent some time on the phone with, try to set that up and put all the wheels in motion. Albert was less than thrilled about joining me on the pregame show, but it's a long list of people who can make that claim.
That is true.
Albert looks like he's in good shape. No wonder where Jackson gets his genes from.
I asked him how old he was because he looks sensational. To my great chagrin, he is my age, and I felt even worse.
Really?
Yeah.
He looked all of 35.
What do you mean by that,
old.
Mario?
You tossed it up to him. Really? You tossed it up to him, and he hit it out of the park.
That's on me. Yeah, that one's on me.
Can't lay it on a tee like that, Keith. There's a ball up high. 2-0 now on Jackson.
Mario, remember that play yesterday when I said Jackson probably should have dove for the ball?
Right.
He agreed.
Really? You talked to him?
Yeah, but he also said he thought he was going to catch it in the air, and that's the reason why he didn't leave his feet, which is what he does on most occasions. And he also told me that he dove once, and he said it was last year against Orlando Hudson. He took a base hit away from Hudson. It was shallow in the outfield.
This one might be a gapper, and it is. It'll roll to the warning track. Here comes Santiago rounding third. They'll send him home. He will score, throw to third base, not in time, and a triple. Jackson makes it a 3-0 game.
The game plan so far against Pineda has been a good one given to the Tigers by Lloyd McClendon. They want to swing early and often. He likes to throw lots of fastballs. They're going to be firm. They're going to be in the mid-90s, and the Tigers have taken advantage of that fact. And Santiago with some pretty good speed, able to score. And look at the smoothness of Austin Jackson. Here comes that other gear right now.
And that ball didn't even get to the wall. It went to the warning track. It was cut off, yet he still had a stand-up triple. So Jackson is 19th RBI of the year. Here's Don Kelly. And the Tigers really don't care what Pineda's numbers are right now because they put up 3 runs on 4 hits early in this one. Kelly flied out to center back in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pineda just 22 years old. Born in the Dominican Republic, was Seattle's minor league pitcher of the year last year.
He looks a little frustrated out there tonight. He's not used to getting hit around at all. Really had one bad start this year. It came against the New York Yankees. He walked 5. And some people that travel with the Seattle Mariners said that Pineda was just too amped up for that game against the Yankees. But most pitchers are when they go up against New York.
3 balls and 1 strike. Bosch waiting on deck. Jackson at third with 2 outs. Tigers get another run in. And it's fouled away, 3-2. Well, I know one of your favorite people, John Brandon Inge, unable to play. Yet the Tigers, I think, have done a pretty good job in filling in at third base.
Yeah, Don Kelly, I think, slides into that spot rather nicely. Danny Wirth gives them some depth at that position, and Kelly's giving them some little bit of a spark at the plate.
Look at you talking like you know what you're talking about.
3-2. Driven to center field. And that's caught by Hallman to end the inning. Tigers had another on the RBI triple by Austin Jackson. Tigers were teaching baseball skills at the Miracle League of Michigan Fantasy Camp for Kids in Southfield. That Fantasy Camp for Kids was designed to provide some youth with special needs opportunities to learn from the big leaguers. Valverde was teaching them how to dance. David Percy was there, Bosch, Kelly, and Miguel Cabrera as well. So the Tigers, Rod, giving back to the community, always a good thing to see.
It's a wonderful idea by Jeremy Flug. He's located on the left there right next to Paws. He came up to the booth yesterday and he said he went to a Colorado Rockies fantasy camp. And then he came up with the idea about doing a fantasy camp for special needs kids. And now it's been established in 3 or 4 major league cities. So a wonderful idea by Jeremy.
It's a great idea, as a matter of fact. Michael Karp is leading things off here in the third. It'll be Karp, Figgins, and Hallman against the right-hander Max Scherzer. And John, in your pregame travels throughout the course of the year, of course, you know a lot of these Tigers do a lot of things in the community.
Yeah, they're such creatures of habit. It takes a lot, and it speaks to how important efforts like the Miracle League is to them, that all those guys got out and made it to Southfield earlier today. Because, you know, they want to focus. They want to get the routine down in advance of some pretty big games now, with a chance to catch the Indians in the American League Central.
And Karp has taken a walk.
And I'm told we'll have much more on the Tigers' visit to the Miracle League fields tomorrow on the Tigers Live pregame show.
Yeah, Jeremy was telling me that he and Clint Hurdle at the Colorado Rockies fantasy camp a few years ago kind of came up with the idea. He said he ran it by Hurdle, and he said Clint Hurdle, the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, of course, who managed the Colorado Rockies at one point in time, said it was a fabulous idea. And I think Jeremy's ideas is taking it to all 30 teams.
Well, now that would be tremendous if you can get it throughout the course of every team in baseball. That'd be fabulous. There's a strike called on Sean Figgins. Figgins playing third base tonight, had a couple of hits in the ball game last night, including a double. It's been another slow year for the former Angel. He's batting just .193. They play him in tight in case he's thinking of dropping one down. And, of course, with his speed.
He's a great bunter, too. Tremendous bunter.
Scherzer had retired 6 straight prior to the walk to Karp rather, here in the third. And now Figgins trying to do something about that walk. The 1-1. Fouled off at home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sean.
What happened to Sean Figgins?
Good question. A couple of years ago, before he signed with Seattle, he scored 114 runs with the Angels, and last year it was just a really tough transition for him.
Yeah, when they gave him the 4-year contract, they thought that he and Ichiro at the top of that batting order would score 100 runs apiece and would really be some nice table setters, but it hasn't been that way for Figgins for whatever reason.
Need to move his feet. Figgins dancing out of the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you would think that the transition would have been not all that different from one that he was experiencing anyway. He's still in the same division. He's still in the American League. And he really hasn't changed his game.
Managerial change had to help him just a little bit. In Don Wakamatsu got a little bit sideways, and Eric Wedge comes in, and everybody gets a new page.
He's had 3 different hitting coaches, however, since he's put on a Seattle Mariners uniform in just over a year.
Scherzer missing, run it to 3-2 on Figgins.
Well, Scherzer needs to, if he can, throw the fastball right down the middle and see how far Figgins can hit it. And if Karp is running on this pitch, if he gets the strikeout, Avila has the ability to throw Karp out down at second.
Runner going, and it's fouled straight back. So Karp will turn, head back to first base.
Mario has already given me warning, Rod, that all the fish references have been used up.
Exhausted.
Nothing left by Sunday.
Nope. So Mike Karp, when he's at the plate tomorrow, they're all used up.
No, I know you can come up with something.
You ever see the bag of funnies that Keating carries around, Rod?
It's just good, solid journalism is all it is. It's serious journalism.
Runner goes again on 3-2, and it's ball 4. So we have back-to-back walks. Game break time. We go back to the studio. Here's Trevor Thompson. Hopefully so, Trev. Right here, it's 3-0. Tigers can pull into a first-place tie. And how about those Cleveland Indians, Keats? I mean, this is a team that many was anointing as the surprise, including ourselves early on in the season. But boy, oh boy, they've come back to the pack.
Well, and it's great for Tiger fans. I think we all had the sense that the Indians would wake up one morning and realize, you know, we are the Indians, and that's kind of where they are. Their pitching that was so good, you know, is not as good to last an entire season, and the Tigers can elbow their way to the top spot with a win here tonight.
Oh, that hurts. Avila.
The pained look on his face indicates that this one really got him.
Right on the shoulder.
And it's amazing that even the shoulder protector and the chest protector can only do so much.
He's a tough kid, though.
I always wonder what the umpire is saying to the catcher as he's kicking some dirt off the plate, allowing him the chance to regroup anytime one of those catchers gets nicked up a little bit.
That's pretty much what he's saying to him, John. He's probably saying, hey, just
let
me know when you're ready.
Yeah, take your time.
We got all the time in the world. Just let me know.
Or, I feel your pain. Been there, done that.
Wave and a miss. 0-2 on Greg Hallman. M's still looking for their first hit, but they have something brewing here with a couple of walks. Karp and Figgins.
Hallman's done nice work in the 5 games that he has played in the majors this year.
7 for 15. The 0-2. Well, there was a pretty good prospect by the name of Michael Saunders who was with Seattle the last couple of years, and many thought, Rod, and it keeps that this guy was really going to blossom at this level. He was sent down to bring Hallman up.
Hallman's got some skills. He's got some power. He's got some speed. He's got a good throwing arm. And Saunders was struggling with the bat.
Who comes from the Netherlands to the major leagues? Greg Hallman does.
This guy right here with a lot of power. Swing and a miss. Not this time, though. Scherzer has a strikeout. That's his 3rd.
It's a pretty good breaking ball right there for Hallman to hit. It wasn't Scherzer's best breaking ball, but it took enough off of it to get Hallman to swing right over the top of it.
John, where would you put Ichiro Suzuki on your list of the most dynamic players you've seen?
Oh, goodness. Certainly top 5. You know, I've been around a little bit longer than you guys, so I saw Gehrig and Ruth and Mantle and DiMaggio. So he's right in that mix. You know, we forget, you know, what a sensational career he had even before he made his way to the Seattle Mariners.
He's a Hall of Fame player here stateside in just 10 years.
Sure.
He
Over
has dominated.
300 hits.
He has dominated that right field position. Not from a power standpoint, but every other facet of the game.
He pulls that one down the right field line, and it'll go foul. Well, you also wonder, Rod, if he decided that one year, you know what, I'm going to try and hit for power this year, where he could end up, because he certainly has the power to hit balls into the seats.
Yes, he has that ability. Look at that resume.
I saw quotes from him after the game, though, that he had new respect for Eric Wedge, because while Wedge told him he was giving him the day off, Ichiro thought, because all the other Mariners managers had told him or had put him in late in games. Wedge, though, made sure that Ichiro was getting the entire day off, which snapped his streak of consecutive games at 255. And I think that sort of reminded Ichiro how strong a character Eric Wedge can be.
I thought Eric would put him in the game last night, though. 1-run game, your best defender in the outfield. I thought maybe he would put him in the game, but maybe they wanted to do away with that streak.
Yeah.
The 2-1.
Because now there's no pressure. I mean, if Ichiro's struggling a little bit later on in the season, there's not that pressure of, you know, trying to keep that streak going of 255 games, which is what it was at.
He's hitting $1.50 since May 19th.
Yeah, but he'll have 200 hits when it's all said and done.
He better hurry.
Would you bet against him?
No.
But I don't know how much that streak really was involved in that decision, though, Rod, when you consider that he was quite a ways away from Mr. Ripken.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like he was going to set a record with that streak. It was impressive nonetheless. That's a ball inside and low. 3-2 now on Ichiro. But he just amazes with his hitting style. So much different than any other hitter in baseball, really.
You guys were talking about Wedge trying to maybe put his thumbprint on this team, and I think that was another step forward. That even though, I mean, basically Ichiro has played whenever he's wanted to play for all the other managers that he's had, and I think Wedge is saying, now this is my team.
That's chop foul.
Well, Wedge is doing a marvelous job in his first year as a manager for Seattle. He doesn't have the offensive weapons that he would like to have, and some of the offensive weapons that he had in Cleveland when he was there, but he is doing the best with what he's been given by Jack Zurincic, their general manager.
We do know this: Ichiro will play with style night in and night out. It's his own style. And Scherzer's 3-2. Fouled away again.
I don't think many people know this, but they will know after I say it again. The fact that Lloyd McClendon also interviewed for the Seattle Mariners a managerial job and finished second. I mean, a really close second to Eric Wedge. Many thought Lloyd was going to get that opportunity.
And you get the feeling that at some point Lloyd will get that next opportunity.
He'd like to.
Scherzer having trouble dispatching of Ichiro. That's in the air to right field. Bosch has a beat on this one. Runners will tag. And Karp will move up to third base. There are two gone now, and Ichiro is 0 for 2.
Speaking of style, did you see our pregame feature with Eric Wedge talking about his mustache?
Yes.
I missed it.
We have likened it to Paul Sr. from American Choppers, and Wedge said with a relatively straight face he had never heard that comparison before. Baloney.
No, I'm sure he's a million times, because it's really close.
It's good and solid.
That gets back to that journalism thing you were talking about.
Exactly.
Solid journalism that you guys produce on the pregame. Hard hitting. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, there's Paul Sr.
This is what Keating does in the morning when he wakes up. Let me find a picture of Paul Sr.
That's the way our minds work over there on Tigers Live.
Paul Sr.'s got a nice tattoo artist.
He's
2 outs.
covered.
Ryan cuts and misses 0-1.
Max has used his secondary pitches effectively today. His fastball's been explosive as well. He's gotten up to 97, but it's been his changeup and his slider that has kind of kept the Seattle Mariners off balance here early in this game.
That was the 24th pitch that Scherzer has thrown in this inning. Here's the 0-1 to Ryan. Make it 0-2. Max had a strikeout in the first. That was smoke. He struck out Peguero in the second, and he's gotten Hallman here in the third. And now he's trying to get Ryan to shut down the frame after back-to-back walks led off the inning. This is a Seattle team that has had trouble scoring runs all season long. And the 0-2. He wouldn't chase that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, if you're Max here, you got a couple of pitches to play with. You want to make sure you don't give in to Ryan. It's 1 ball, it's 2 strikes. You can elevate the fastball to see if he'll chase that mid-90s fastball. If you throw a breaking ball, just make sure you get it down, because you have confidence in Avila to block that pitch.
And the 1-2.
Where was that?
Apparently a tad inside.
I like the idea. Fox Track saying way in.
You don't always agree with Fox Tracks on the game broadcast?
Yeah, when the checks don't bounce.
54 total now for Scherzer. And the 2-2. He was given time, no pitch.
Late time.
Late. Pull a groin up here just watching that one.
Scherzer needed just 27 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. He's thrown as many here in the third. Teammates have given him 3 runs to work with. Talking about Seattle's struggles, they have scored just 233 runs this year, the lowest total in the AL. Boy, that pitching has kept them afloat and in the race in the West. In the air to center. Jackson cruising over. And that'll get him out of the jam. Inning over. Well, Keats, good luck tomorrow. We appreciate the visit.
Enjoy the day with your family tomorrow. There'll be a full body hug for you on Monday.
I can't wait.
Welcome you back.
John Keating. More energy, the no wait, no hassle way to a great morning by AT&T and by Keebler uncommonly good cookies. Nice crowd here at the ballpark tonight. And a gorgeous night. So far so good for the home team. They lead 3-0 against Seattle and Michael Pineda. Bosch, then Cabrera, then Martinez facing the big right-hander. Right at the knees, a tad low though, 2-0.
So far, the big left-handers have done a little damage in this game. Bosch, Martinez, Avila, they've all singled.
Bosch had a 2-out single in the first, and he came around to score.
He kept that inning going. Cabrera was hit. Single by Martinez. He drove in a run.
3-1 on Brennan. Three and two. The plan for Pineda this year, and again he's only 22 years old, is to not have him throw more than 105 pitches in a game. For the most part, they've done that. The most he's thrown is 106 a couple of starts ago, and he gets Bosch to look at strike three.
Take a look at the location of the last three pitches, and that would be the sixth one, which Fox Track said at 84 miles an hour, a hair off the plate, but maybe a little bit too close to take. And since Mike Everett called it a strike.
Here's Miguel Cabrera. Ball one.
Tigers have done what you want to try to do against guys like Pineda, guys like Verlander, guys like King Felix, who will pitch tomorrow for Seattle.
Base hit to right.
You've got to get those guys early, because usually once they settle in and they get their sea legs underneath them, they become a very, very tough at bat. So you want to get them early.
Some of the numbers we were talking about in the pregame show, and how the Seattle Mariners have been able to stay afloat, so to speak, in the American League West with some really, really good pitching.
Dominant pitching.
Tonight, though, the Tigers able to get to Pineda for 3 runs. Victor Martinez standing in. Carl Willis, the pitching coach for Seattle, right next to Eric Wedge. Victor had an RBI single in the first inning. His average now is up to 304. That'll go foul down the first base line, right by Tom Brookins. J.B. Navarro is the bullpen coach for the Seattle Mariners, and when Pineda was in A-ball, Navarro was the pitching coach for Michael in A-ball, and he really became a mentor to him because Pineda knew very little, if any, English at all. And one of the things Navarro made him do was to learn as much English as quickly as he could, because he felt that it would aid him in his progress to the big leagues.
It helps. That much is for sure.
That's rolled foul.
Just about every team now with the Latin players that come over from Latin America, they have English teaching classes for them in the morning, whether it be in spring training, whether it be in extended spring. It usually happens when they first start their career.
And as Pineda would climb up the ladder in Seattle's minor league system, he always kept in contact with Navarro, even though Navarro was bouncing around from team to team as the pitching coach in the minor leagues. And missed outside, 1-2. And Navarro was asked, does he need a third pitch to become a dominant pitcher in this league, to go with the fastball and the breaking ball that he has? And Navarro says, yeah, we're trying to get him to develop a changeup, maybe a sinker, but the forkball right now, no, they don't want him. They feel he's just way too young to learn that pitch. The 1-2. Did he hold? No, he went around. Mike Winters rings him up. Martinez disagrees.
Whew, that's pretty close. It's really close, as a matter of fact.
2 outs now. That'll bring up Andy Dirks.
The forkball is sort of that last pitch to come. If you can't master a changeup, and there have been some power pitchers that just have not been able to master a changeup, that's when you go to that split-fingered fastball or the forkball, like Bonderman did throughout his career with the Tigers.
Great example. That's into center field for the final out as Coleman hauls it in. Plate 3 here at Comerica. A pretty simple one. Who holds the Seattle single season save record? Brandon League right now is leading the American League. Will he end up there at the end of the season? Don't know. Who is the single season saves leader for Seattle in their history. How about that hair?
Bad hair day today,
to say the least. Well, here come the M's as we go to the fourth. Justin Smoke will lead things off, then Kennedy, and then Olivo. Smoke really wasn't highly recruited until really about his junior year in high school. When scouts would come to his games in South Carolina, they were there to see another kid.
he was pretty good too.
That would have been Matt Wieters. And one out as Dirks hauls it in. So he was on the same team with Matt Wieters in high school.
They played Legion ball together too.
And they're both pretty good big leaguers. Still very young. Here's Adam Kennedy. Kennedy bounced out back in the second, 0 for 1. 4 for 9 series. They've had 4, or make it 3 different cleanup hitters in the first 3 games. They had Olivo in game 1, Jack Cust last night, and Kennedy tonight. 1-1. High fly ball center field. Lots of room out there for Jackson.
Hey fans, when the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios. And here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit.
Here's Olivo now with 2 outs. Well, Scherzer looking good tonight. The only semi-trouble he had was back in the 3rd when he walked Carp and Figgins. That started the inning, but he got a strikeout and a couple of fly balls. Threat was over. Max gunning for his 8th victory of the season tonight. He's got a 3-0 lead. Jake Arrieta, John Lester lead the American League with 8 wins each. Scherzer trying to get there tonight. On a line to the shortstop. Peralta has it. Inning over. 1-2-3 frame for Max Scherzer. Battle the M's tomorrow at 1:05. Enjoy another Sunday Kids Day. Fans 14 and under receive a Max Scherzer bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to Tigers.com and score yourself a Max Scherzer bobblehead tomorrow. The real Max Scherzer looking pretty good tonight. 4 scoreless innings against Seattle. And a gorgeous evening here in the Motor City, downtown Detroit. Tigers got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. And they will send Johnny Peralta to the plate, facing Michael Pineda. Peralta, Avila, Santiago. Johnny popped up his first time. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. Make it 0-2. Peralta's .313 average coming in was good for 7th best in the American League. He's behind the count here. And a wave and a miss. Down he goes. Number 2 for Pineda. Checking his 3rd strikeout. He had 2 back in the 3rd. And that'll bring up Alex Avila. Avila had a single back in the second, part of a 1-run second inning. Jackson tripled one in that frame. Two and 0. Pineda, as a kid growing up in the Dominican Republic, was a shortstop and a third baseman. He loved to swing the bat. Problem is with those 2 positions, he wasn't quick enough. Didn't have much range. And so with that dynamite arm that he had, once he was signed to play professionally, it was just a natural transition to move him to the mound. He at first did not like the idea, but it has turned out to be a good idea. And with Felix Hernandez has really formed a nice 1-2 punch at the top of that Seattle rotation. Their minor league pitcher of the year last year. Avila looks at a strike, 3-1.
Seattle has used all of the same 5 starters this year. And all 5 of their starters have an earned run average under 4. They're the only team in the majors that has all 5 of their starters with a sub-4 earned run average.
3-2 on Avila. Santiago will be next. 3-0 Detroit. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He comes back to strike out Avila after falling behind 3-0.
Well, it's a good thing that they got him early because Big Pineda appears to be settling in very nicely here. That last fastball that he blew Alex away with was 98 miles an hour.
4th strikeout for Pineda. Here is Santiago. He pours in a fastball. Strike 1. Santiago giving Rayburn the night off tonight. Ramon playing second base. Shows bunt, pulls one down the first base line, but it's going to go right to Smoke. And that'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. 4 in the books. Still 3-0. At the lowest tire price period, Bell Tire. And by Motor City Casino Hotel, a million miles away, right down the street. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. To get the most baseball games in HD, call 1-800-DIRECTV. They're providing some spectacular shots here at the ballpark tonight. Here come the Seattle Mariners in the 5th inning. Tigers lead 3-0. And Max Scherzer back to work. He's facing Carlos Piguero, Mike Carp, and Sean Figgins. Piguero struck out back in the second. That one rides inside. 2-0 the count. Huge swing there by Piguero, who made his big league debut against the Tigers back in April. He was just called up from Tacoma at that time. Max is 2-1. On the ground to the second baseman, Santiago. Piguero is out, 1 away. That's 7 straight retired.
Max has got a pretty good pace going today. And when you have the kind of pace that he's working with and you're filling up the strike zone as he's been able to do, your defenders, they stay on their toes and they're ready to make plays. 65% of the pitches that he has thrown here today have been fastballs, 35% off speed. So he's kind of found that right mix through the first 4 innings.
Carp had a base on balls back in the 3rd. This guy was not messing around in the minor leagues this year. He played 57 games at Tacoma. He had 58 RBIs.
Oh, he was getting busy.
19 homers.
Really?
19. The 1-1.
Well, maybe with the guys that they've brought up in Piguero and Carp and Hallman, they can kind of find some offense because they desperately need some with the pitching staff that they've assembled.
The 2-1. 3-1 on Carp.
They got that other young kid that's going to be coming to the big league soon too. Their #1 draft choice of last year. Yes,
Dustin Ackley.
There's been a lot of young kids that have been called to the big leagues lately. Kansas City finally called up their prize prospect.
There's a base hit to left.
Moustakas.
So they have Hosmer and Moustakas up now, and so I think it's just the beginning for them. They have so many quality athletes down at the minor league level. KC is going to get better in a hurry, I would think. So that's the first hit that Seattle's been able to pick up in this game. That'll bring up Figgins. Sean had a base on balls back in the 3rd. Ball 1 to Figgins.
I don't know if Figgins is entertaining the thought of bunting or not, but if he is, Don Kelly's not in close enough. And with the speed that Figgins has and his ability to bunt, and Kelly would not throw him out if he bunted down toward third base.
Line drive off the glove of Santiago. They still might have a play at second. And they do. They get the force.
Nicely done. Looked like Ramon got caught in between as to whether he was going to have to jump for this ball or not. And it was a soft line drive off of Figgins' bat, and Brennan Bosch was Johnny on the spot as Carp was headed back to first base, and they still get the out at second.
So Hallman will bat now. It's a fielder's choice with the force at second base on Carp. Hallman struck out back in the 3rd. Little tapper hit slowly back up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Look out. Oh, now they got Figgins, who took too wide of a turn. Santiago runs it back. Now Scherzer. Now the tag by Peralta. Inning over. Tigers get a break there. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tires. Meanwhile, it's Jackson leading it off. Jackson, Kelly, Bosch, the top three against Michael Pineda. Lifted in the air to shallow right field. Kennedy back, and Ichiro comes sliding in to make the play.
I wonder if Ichiro called that ball or not, because Kennedy peeled off like Ichiro had called it. And usually you don't see the outfielder call off the infielder if he has to leave his feet. Kennedy was camped underneath this ball.
All's well that ends well, I suppose. Here's Kelly. A couple of fly ball outs. He's 0 for 2. Don with a modest 4-game hitting streak. Trying to extend that here tonight. The 1-0. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kelly. If the Tigers win here tonight, they pull into a first place tie with the Cleveland Indians, who were defeated earlier today. Strike on the outer edge. The last time the Tigers were in first place, July 10th last year. The 1-2. Fly ball, center field. Hallman is there. And there are 2 gone. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Angus Third Pounder. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Who do you got so far in this game?
Well, let me see.
I'm going to go with Maxwell.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of scoring, but still some clutch hits.
That would be my choice, too.
There's another hit for Brennan Bosch.
Brennan Bosch just kind of swinging that magic wand right now. And every time he decides to swing and puts it in play, it's finding some holes for him. It's a beautiful thing. It's a fastball down, sliced in front of Peguero in left field, who obviously was playing Brennan deep.
It'll bring up Cabrera. Tigers have their 6th hit of this ball game. Miguel hit by a pitch and then scored a run in the first. He also has a single. Bouncing ball to short. Ryan has it, and they'll get the force. to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. To the 6th we go. Holds the Seattle single season save record.
Sasaki.
Kazuhiro Sasaki back in 2001, which by the way was Ichiro's first year in the major leagues. 45 saves that year. There's a strike called on Ichiro.
That's the year the Seattle Mariners won 116 games during the regular season under Lou Piniella.
But did not get to the World Series.
Yankees knocked him out of the postseason in the first round.
That team could mash.
And of course the Diamondbacks won the World Series that year, beating the New York Yankees.
Here's the 1-1. Ichiro, a pop up and a fly ball. Ball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ichiro. 255 straight games played by Ichiro. That streak came to an end last night when he sat down the entire night. And he was in such a deep funk. 13 for his previous 87, which is not something you expect out of a guy that for 10 straight years had 200 or more hits. Scherzer's had his number though, just 1 for 11 against him. Fly ball, center field. Jackson is on his horse, still going. This ball is hit well, it's over his head. Ichiro is on his way to third base, and he'll pull in with a triple of the stand-up variety.
Been a lot of triples in this series. Nothing Jackson can do here. He's shading him on the shortstop side of second base, and he's also playing him shallow. And Ichiro got a hold of one, and once he starts to pick it up, he is some kind of smooth.
Second triple of the year for Ichiro.
Still one of the fastest players in the American League, even though he's 38 years old.
I'd have to look it up.
He's up there.
Here's Ryan. Tipped into the glove for strike 1.
37 years old.
Ryan is 0 for 2. Line out, fly out. Seattle in the series 1 out of 15 with men in scoring position. This is their best scoring chance. And it's driven in the air to left. Dirks lines it up. Ichiro tags it up, and he'll score. Sac fly RBI for Brendan Ryan. And the Mariners get their first run of the game. One out. There's Justin Smoak. Pulled into right field, base hit. Let's go back to the studio now. Game break time, and here's Trevor Thompson. All right, Trev, thank you. Of course, Oakland scored a bunch of runs in the ninth inning to come back and beat the Sox last night, which snapped their 10-game losing streak.
Scott Sizemore, the former Tiger, drove in 3 runs in that ninth inning. So he helped out his former mates keep the White Sox at bay for a night. Did Scott Sizemore. He had 2 doubles in the game.
Listening to that game on the way home from our ball game last night, and Sergio Santos came on and actually got the first 2 batters in the ninth, and they scored all those runs.
He's been struggling.
Kennedy lifts one foul back out of play.
The White Sox have had a very difficult time of finding a closer that consistently gets the job done for them. Santos was doing a very nice job, but lately his numbers have kind of blown up too.
And ultimately that may be their downfall as Percy warms up. And he's the man they got in the trade for Scott Sizemore. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adam Kennedy. Pulled to first base, knocked down by Cabrera. They'll get the out at second, and that's all. 2 outs. Kennedy is on via the fielder's choice.
Scherzer with a pretty good fastball here tonight. He has touched 97, and he has gone as low as 80 miles per hour with his changeup. 17-mile-per-hour differential is very, very good, especially if you can disguise it by not having any deceleration in your arm speed, which means the ball looks the exact same coming out of the hand, whether it be the fastball or the changeup.
To left field and hit well. Dirks going back to the warning track to make the catch. Inning over, they get a run, and we go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. We talked about Max's 3 pitches. That's the changeup. He's gotten a swing and miss on that one today. We're also going to show you the fastball. It's been at 97 miles an hour, right off the fingertips. And he's also thrown a few sliders, not many, but that's the slider grip and the movement of the slider as well. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Gorgeous night here at the ballpark where the Tigers lead it 3-1. They've out-hit Seattle 6-4. And the Tigers again can move into a first place tie with a victory here tonight. It'll be Victor Martinez leading it off and Andy Dirks and Johnny Peralta. Has thrown 66 pitches through 5 innings, so his pitch count is in good shape. Remember, we told you they don't really want to go much above 105 for any of his starts this year. They did pretty much the same thing with Felix Hernandez a few years back when he was a rookie. They really monitored not only his starts but his pitch counts. And there is ball 1 to Victor Martinez. Just came from a place, Arlington, where Nolan Ryan is trying to get away from pitch counts, trying to get his pitchers to go deeper into games, aim for complete games.
It's working well for them. There hasn't been many other teams that have followed suit, though, with that philosophy.
But it has to be, correct me if I'm wrong, an organizational philosophy. I mean, you need to start doing this in the minor leagues, don't you?
Correct.
You can't just get guys to the big league level after being taught one way in the minors and then tell them, by the way, we want you to throw a complete game tonight. Or 120, 30, or 40 pitches. The 1-2. And it'll get down, a base hit. Victor goes the other way, his second hit tonight. 2 out of 3 for Martinez.
The majority of the hits tonight against Pineda have been off the left-handed swinging Tigers in the lineup today. Jim has 6 of them in his starting lineup, and it's been a good move by Jim. 5 of the 7 hits tonight recorded against Pineda have been against the left-handers.
Dirks hits a ground ball. Diving stop at second by Kennedy for the out.
He got robbed.
And Kennedy showing he still has a little bit of range left. Advance the runner to second.
Took very little time getting to his feet to record the play. Actually, he threw from his knees. Didn't have to get up. Foxman sweet.
Peralta is 0 for 2. Johnny, a pop up and a strikeout.
And Johnny likes hitting here at Comerica Park. His overall numbers are 263, but he's hitting 330 here. I was looking at some Tigers numbers yesterday. He's one of the few Tigers that have better numbers at home than on the road.
Really?
Most of the Tigers' batting averages are better away from Comerica Park.
Overall, his numbers have been really good. Over 300. Driven high and deep to left. This one has a chance. Yes, a goodbye. It's gone. A line drive home run right on cue for Johnny Peralta.
Johnny Peralta got a 2-0 fastball from Pineda. It was firm. It was in the mid-90s, and he drilled it. A line drive into the Tigers' bullpen, and Johnny Peralta is playing like he wants to make the All-Star team this year. Pineda doesn't get hit around very much, but Tigers have been beating him up. And that is the first time Pineda has given up a home run this year with a runner on base. The first time this year.
It's also the first time he's given up 5 runs in any start. Four was his previous high against the slugging Texas Rangers. That home run for Peralta, number 9. Oh, and 1 on Alex Avila. One and one.
I know there's a lot of baseball left in this game. Seattle has 9 big outs left, but boy, a win today by the Tigers would be huge, knowing who they have to face tomorrow in Felix Hernandez, reigning Cy Young Award winner.
.76 for Pineda.
Really only one stressful inning. He threw 19 in the second.
Jamie Wright heating up in their bullpen. There are 6 games winners going tomorrow. Rick Porcello has won 6 games. Felix Hernandez has won 6 games.
Porcello is pitching as well or better than he pitched as a rookie 2 years ago.
Should be a good one tomorrow.
No doubt.
Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Avila. Single and a strikeout tonight for Alex. His average right now at .294. Avila has had a game with 2 triples. That was on Thursday night here against Seattle. And he's had a game with 2 homers earlier this year in May against Tampa. A lot of extra base hits for Avila. It's 81 pitches now for Pineda. And another foul back of the screen. 2-2 on Alex. Number 9 coming up to Avila. Haven't gotten the attendance total yet tonight, but it is a big time crowd. You can see the upper reaches of the upper deck.
Got to be a sellout.
Are all full. Standing room as well.
Ford Field full tonight too. Taylor Swift, she's over there.
Now, if there wasn't a game tonight, would you be there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. There's a foul back.
She's talented though, because there was a whole lot of people marching over there tonight. I didn't know what was going on at first. People everywhere.
So downtown is full tonight.
Packed.
Tenth pitch coming up here to Alex Avila. And he missed with it. 3-2, 1 at bat for Avila. Santiago waiting on deck. Tigers have gotten a couple of runs here in this inning on the 2-run homer by Johnny Peralta. Outside, he lost him. What a may be for Avila.
Hey fans, here's a reminder about this Monday's makeup game against the Tampa Bay Rays here at Comerica Park. Game time is 7:05. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com for the makeup game on Monday at 7:05.
Pineda gives up the baseball, and the youngster will give way now in a wall side windows pitching change. Seattle goes to the bullpen, and we'll be back. Pineda is out of the ball game. His numbers are like this: 5 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned, but he's still responsible for the walk to Avila.
Tigers had a very nice game plan against Pineda tonight, and it worked. They jumped on him very early in counts. They got fastballs to hit, and they didn't miss him, and the left-handers did marvelous work against him.
Jamie Wright will take over. Santiago, a couple of ground outs in this one tonight. And he slices one down the line and left. Fair ball. Avila hits the bag, but he'll hold up. First hit of the night for Ramon. That'll put runners at first and second. Nine Tigers hits now. Here's Austin Jackson. Bender missing inside. Time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card. Tigers have had at least one extra base hit in all 64 now. The only team in the major leagues that has done that. That streak was extended on the triple by Austin Jackson back in the second.
Ordonez, 3 hits tonight. 3 for 3 with a home run, 3 RBIs. He's played 8 games for Toledo.
Base hit right field. Avila coming around, he'll score. Jackson has another hit and another RBI. The Tigers add another. 6-1.
Brennan Bosch was getting the scouting report from Alex Avila. Even though Avila didn't face Jamie Wright, he was standing on second base for that entire at bat by Austin Jackson, and kind of gave Brennan Bosch a little bit of a scouting report on what Wright is featuring here tonight.
Don Kelly is 0 for 3. All 3 fly balls tonight, 2 to center, actually all 3 to center field. Still only 1 out in the inning. Two RBIs tonight for Jackson, 2 for Peralta.
I guess congratulations are in order to Jim Leland's good buddy Tony La Russa, who managed his 5,000th career big league game yesterday. That's a lot of games.
And he's won a lot of them too.
33 years as a big league manager for Tony La Russa.
We'll get back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don Kelly.
Of course, Jim Leland got his first opportunity to coach in the major leagues under Tony La Russa in Chicago in the early 80s. And Jim said he was a good manager before going to Chicago and working under Tony. He said, but Tony taught him how to be a big league manager.
Runner goes back up the middle. Tag made there for 1, and a double play and a sweet play by Brendan Ryan.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
6-3 in the twin killing, but the Tigers got their first 2 on the long ball by Peralta.
It's easier than ever to find the seats you want or to sell the tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
6-1, Tigers have the lead. They have 10 hits tonight after really struggling to put a whole lot of offense together against the Seattle staff in the first 2 games in the series. Plenty of Tiger fans enjoying this one here tonight. And it'll be Carlos Peguero to lead it off in the 7th inning. Peguero to be followed by Carp and then Sean Figgins. Scherzer's still out there. He's thrown 89 pitches so far. And ball 1 misses outside to Peguero. Max allowed a triple and a sac fly in the 6th. The only runs that Seattle's been able to get. There's a strike 1-1.
Max came in with a 3-0 record and a 2.25 earned run average in his career against the Seattle Mariners. So he's pitching out there with a lot of confidence against them. And then you add in the fact that he really pitches well at Comerica Park, and you thought he would probably go out and have a good day.
High fly ball, right field. Bosch under it. And 1 out. Peguero is gone. We'll bring up Mike Carp. And more activity in the Tigers pen. Up for the 2nd time is David Percy. Single and a walk for Carp this evening. Only 4 hits allowed by Scherzer. In fact, they didn't get their first hit until the 5th, when Carp singled the other way. Down 0-2 here. That'll get back out of play. .95 to throw it right by him. 2 gone. Scherzer has his 4th strikeout. Max has fanned as many as 9 in a single game this year. That's his season high. Did it against the Yankees here at Comerica back on May 4th. Career high is 14 against the Oakland Athletics. Strike 1 on Figgins. Just off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike, and even 100 pitches for Scherzer. A good many of them coming in that 3rd inning. 28 pitches, then just 9 in the 4th. Now the 2-1 to left field for Andy Dirks, and that'll make it a 1-2-3 inning for Scherzer. 7th inning stretch. 6-1 Detroit.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch at Max Scherzer, and he had an outstanding outing east to west with the changeups on the outer portion of the plate against the left-handers, and then he went on the other side with slide pieces against the righties, and then he had the explosive fastball up in the strike zone. He threw some right by some of these Seattle Mariners hitters, so he kind of had the right mix going all night long, led beautifully by the youngster Alex Avila.
Here's Brendan Bosch to lead it off. Bosch, Cabrera, and Martinez in the bottom of the seventh. Tigers in command of this one, 6-1.
We talk so much about Avila and his offensive numbers this year that sometimes we forget just how impressive he has been on the other side of the ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bosch a couple of singles and a strikeout in this game. 2 of the 10 Tigers hits. $38,398 the attendance figure tonight.
It's a great night to come to a game. Not too hot. Really pleasant. Downtown Detroit tonight.
The 1-2. Driven to right field on a line. Ichiro over his head. Up against the wall. Bosch headed to second, and he'll pull in with a double.
Bosch got a little breaking ball at about 80 miles an hour and drilled it, and then he had to stutter step around first base because he was watching the baseball, and then first base kind of got on him quickly, and he had to shorten his stride to make sure that he touched the base before making a beeline to second.
15 doubles now for Bosch this year. 3 more hits tonight for Brennan.
Brennan Bosch has played just about every single game this year. Jim Leland cannot get him out of the lineup.
Cabrera trying to knock him home. Ground ball, shortstop side. Ryan has it. One away with Bosch holding down at second base. He's going to bring up Victor. He's had 2 hits tonight. Martinez knocked in a run in the very first inning. The Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 edge. Then they got another one in the second to make it 3-0. And then a 3-run 6th. Peralta with a 2-run homer tonight. Driven toward left field, slicing away from Peguero, and it's over his head. Another run will score. Bosch will come in. It's a double for Victor Martinez, his 3rd hit tonight. Seven to 1 Detroit.
Peguero in left field was playing awfully shallow, and that ball sliced off the bat of Victor Martinez, got to the warning track, and he drives in another one. He has been money in that number 5 spot in the Tigers batting order all season long.
Ball 1 to Andy Dirks. Pineda started this game and gave way to Jamie Wright in the 6th, and now Wright has given up a couple of doubles here in the 7th. One ball and 1 strike on Dirks. A much better night tonight for the Tigers with runners in scoring position. 4 for 8. And they've built a 7-1 lead. 1-2. Jeff Gray is the right-hander tuning up.
Wasn't there a Jeff Gray that used to be a pretty good closer for the Kansas City Royals?
Jeff Montgomery?
Montgomery, that's who it is.
The 1-2 is down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dirks.
That wasn't even close. Gray, Montgomery.
That wasn't close. The only Gray that I can remember in the big leagues was Pete Gray, and that was the one-armed guy way back a long time ago. Pete Gray, yeah.
Pete Gray.
I think that was his name. If it wasn't, somebody will correct us. That's popped up. Who's going to take this? Jamie Wright will. Pitcher hauls it in. That'll bring up Peralta. Peralta had a 2-run homer back in the 6th.
He's been clutch all season long. He's gotten some big hits in big situations.
Taps this one toward third. This will be a routine play for Figgins. So the inning is over. Tigers get a run on the RBI double by Martinez. Tigers baseball is presented by Bell Tire. As we go to the 8th inning, 7-1 Detroit. Johnny Peralta, a 2-run shot in the 6th inning, number 9 on the year. 4 extra base hits tonight for the Tigers. And looking to lead the AL Central. If they can win tonight, they'll pull into a tie with Cleveland for the first time since July 10th of 2010. They would be in first place. By the way, aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. To get the most baseball games in HD, call 1-800-DIRECTV. Joaquin Benoit will take over now. So Scherzer done after 7 strong innings.
Joaquin Benoit's been pretty good about the last 5-6 times he's gone out there. The earned run average still over 5, but that doesn't tell the whole story as far as Joaquin is concerned. 20 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings so far pitched for Benoit.
Greg Hallman leads it off. Ball 1 to Hallman.
And it's really no coincidence with the entire Tigers bullpen, the fact that they kind of got themselves sorted out when Benoit started to pitch better.
It has certainly helped. The 1-0. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Santiago called off by the new right fielder Casper Wells.
1 out.
Here's some of the work that Benoit has done in his last 9 games.
Opponents batting just .115 against him in that stretch.
Jim has said on many occasions that he has been the key to the bullpen getting sorted out. And you can use whoever you want to use in the 7th. Albuquerque, Furbush, Slater. You know you have Benoit for the 8th, and Valverde, if you get him the lead going into the 9th, he's been perfect.
Slap to left field. Base hit. Ichiro goes the other way.
It's a 1-out single. Ichiro has his 2nd hit.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Detroit Tigers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. Here's Brendan Ryan, who tonight is 0 for 2. His sac fly has produced the only Seattle run this evening. RBIs for Ryan, their number 2 hitter in the lineup. He's played a really good series defensively at short, been very busy out there. Two 2-0 on Ryan. Ground ball to third. Kelly to second one. Relay. Got him. Double play. Around the horn. 5-4-3. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows for a free in-home estimate. Call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And what a night it is tonight in the Motor City. Absolutely gorgeous. It is 7-1. The Tigers have the lead. The youngsters enjoying themselves tonight.
Adults having fun too.
Tigers have 12 hits in this game, and Jeff Gray will take over now for Seattle.
And Jeff Gray has a pretty good earned run average at 2.50. 18 innings logged so far. Not a strikeout guy. Only 9 strikeouts in 18 innings, 5 walks.
He'll face Alex Avila, Ramon Santiago, and Austin Jackson. First pitch rolled towards second base. Kennedy has it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, we talked about at the top of the show today that the left-handers had to show up today against Pineda. And they showed up in a big way. 5 for 8. A couple of runs, a walk. They did very nice work against him.
Here comes Santiago. Single run scored tonight for Ramon.
Against a guy like Pineda, you have to search for some kind of edge if you're the manager, because the numbers, there really wasn't that much separation between left-handers and right-handers against him. But Jim found the right mix as far as the lineup is concerned.
Pineda had 9 strikeouts against Detroit the first time he faced him. Tonight he finished with 4. And 6 of the 7 runs the Tigers scored tonight charged to Pineda.
In the 8 games prior to the game tonight, Seattle Mariners pitching held the Tigers collectively to a 208 batting average in 8 games.
Kennedy throws out Santiago, and there are 2 gone.
That's slightly above the Mendoza line. Hey fans, follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for more details.
2 outs. Here is Austin Jackson. Ball 1. A good night tonight for Jackson. Single, triple, 2 RBIs. His average now at 245. Slices one in the air to right center. This looks like it's going to be trouble, and it is. It'll go to the wall. This might be another triple. AJ coming to third, and he's in standing up.
Action Jackson.
Second triple of the night for Jackson.
It's good to see Austin start to drive the ball the opposite way with authority. That's the one thing that he did last year when he was able to put up outstanding numbers as a rookie in just about every offensive category.
5 triples on the year now for Jackson. The Tigers have rolled up 13 hits tonight. Don Kelly immediately scores him with a base hit. Gray had gotten a couple of quick ground balls, and all of a sudden, bang, a triple and a single. Kelly has his 7th RBI. Casper Wells gets his first at bat of the night. There's a ground ball to third. Figgins drops to his knees to make a nice play. Ending the inning. Tigers get 1 more. So we go to the 9th, and it's 8-1 Detroit. For the Seattle Mariners, the Tigers are on top in this one 8-1 as we go to the 9th inning. We have a new pitcher now for Detroit. That would be David Percy.
David Percy has looked good in the few outings that he has had with us. These are his overall numbers this year. Toronto, Oakland, and Detroit. A total of 17 games with a very good earned run average. He's got a good arm. 92 to 94 with his fastball, a little breaking ball, changeup.
Justin Smoke leads it off, then Adam Kennedy and Miguel Olivo. 8 runs, 14 Detroit hits tonight. 1 run on just 5 hits for Seattle. Smoke is 1 for 3, single fly ball strikeout. One ball, 2 strikes on Smoke. Kelly with a tough hop at third base. Nicely done.
Nice arm. He threw a peak across the diamond. The pick and the P.
It's Adam Kennedy now with 1 out. 2 outs to go, and the Tigers are in a first-place tie with Cleveland. With 1 more to go in this series tomorrow, Felix Hernandez, Rick Porcello. Jackson in center, right at him. 2 gone. Miguel Olivo, the last chance for Seattle. The crowd to its feet. 38,000 plus in the building tonight. Should be the ball game. Santiago. Tigers win it.
Outstanding offensive explosion tonight by the Tigers bats against an outstanding pitcher in Michael Pineda.
A 1-2-3-9 for David Percy puts the Kepper on this one. The Tigers win game 3 in the series. They have taken 2 out of the first 3, and they've caught Cleveland. 35-29 record for the Tigers, a first-place tie. There's your final. Back with more.